Morning, 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 morning. Preservation Thursday is here. Oh, the Sumatra mandolin, even in the summertime, ladies and gentlemen. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Hey, got a question of the week here come in from Mark W. out of Missouri. Before we get there, ladies and gentlemen, I guess there is some scuttlebutt. They're looking for QC policies, so I threw my QC policy in the ring. We're going to get to those questions in a little bit here too. But before we get there, I have a couple things I want to go over with you here. I want you to take a look at this here, right here. See that right there? Was that PK Management? PK Management? Yes, they're they're a scoundrel company, if you ask me. However, it was determined that this contract right here, because I took this contract, I took out PK Management, I put Alladay LLC in it, I sent it over to our unemployment insurance division, and they sent back, says this has way too much control, Aaron. I can't tell you how to write the contract. That contract has too much control. Okay, fine. We went back to the drawing board now. But what we did, if you're in Property Preservation Information Exchange over there on Facebook, I'm pretty sure things are archived. Once you put something out in Cyberland, it's there, they say. So I'm pretty sure if you get in the archives of that group, you're going to find some contract stuff. We did little 5-minute podcasts, and they did, they're in the group. But what we did was we took each section of that contract and explained why it controls. You have anything like this, folks? See what that says, vendor training right there. You can see where that company was from. This is one of the things that we had given to us. We're looking for these, by the way. We're looking for these. Do you have anything like that? I don't care what the company name is. If they're subbing you work and they have some kind of thing like that that says train, please send it to us. Make a comment down below. It don't matter. I got a kick out of this next thing I got to show you here. I got a kick out of this. 2008, Lacey and I go to a seminar. They start talking about cubic yard. I'm like, ain't that a website? And that was a website at one time. Actually, a very popular website. One of the websites, I think one of the first websites I stumbled upon about industry stuff was Cubic Yard. I believe that guy, his health has gotten pretty bad lately. I'm not real sure anymore. But they wanted us to go make these. I'm not kidding. So we could measure our cubic yards, okay? As you can see, supplies and tools. It tells you all the tools you need. You need electric drill, a miter box, tape measure, wood glue, Phillips head screwdriver. Yeah. They want you, anyways. When they start talking about this, Lacey was with me and she goes, a cubic yard. I go, yeah, 3 by 3 by 3. She goes, they're not serious. I mean, we were laughing. They wanted us to build a box. Look at that. They wanted us to build one of them things right there so we could accurately count our cubic yards. Never mind that you can measure the box and then divide by 27. I don't. I'll bite my tongue. Competition. We all like competition, don't we? Hey, I have long said, without competition, you cannot be number one. So, Home Depot, kind of giving it to Mr. Klein, Cypress, the insurance thief of the property preservation industry, the insurance fraudster, Cypress, yes indeed. Home Depot, and it's being reported Lowe's is going to be selling the Fannie Mae approved Polycarbonate. Gotta love competition, huh? Cypress wanted 120 for their sheet. Home Depot, 110. Maybe Lowe's will give it to you for 100. Hey, that's what business is about, ladies and gentlemen. That's business. That's business. They can't force you to buy that from them and telling you that, oh, you have to install it this way when that's an incorrect installation method. Shame on you, management. Shame on you, management. And what I want to know, dogs, DAWGS, dogs. You're a member and you've kept your mouth shut on this installation process and you specifically specialize in doors and windows. And I went to your website, I see your cover products. Why haven't you spoke out and said anything? Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Bad company, bad company. You're a door and window company and you have not spoken out on the installation method, and you should have. You should have. Question this week. Now remember, I think there was a QC policy question come out in one of the groups. I started a conversation on that. I'm going to get to that in a minute. We're not going to call anybody out on this, but I want everybody to be aware of what I call industry shills. What is an industry shill, per se? Usually industry shills are ones that promote management, and a lot of times in the GMO arena, they lie. I'll say that. They do lie because they tell you, I just do this because I'm passionate about science. Poppycock. Nobody like Neil deGrasse Tyson opens his mouth for free. Or anybody with a PhD doesn't write paper after paper after paper promoting something they know is a lie for free. I'm sorry, I'm not ever buying that. I'm not ever going to buy that. But we started a conversation, industry shill. What I've noticed here in the property preservation industry over the last 10 years, what I refer to as an industry shill is somebody who sides with labor but supports management. And I want you to think about that for just a minute. How many times have you heard a comment go along this line? While I understand and respect your position, however, and they start making an excuse for management. How many times have you heard somebody say, yeah, that's not right, but, and they make an excuse for management? Industry shill. Industry shill. Think about it. Today's question from Mark W. Royals or Cardinals there, Mark, huh? He's from Missouri. From Missouri, I have been watching your videos, and I am confident your desire to help labor. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. That is what I've been advocating for the last 7 years now when I saw the injustices going on, and especially when I saw the bidding wars. The bidding wars. I'm going to say it again. The bidding wars to cheat you out of your money. Because that's what it's about. Let me give the lowest bid. It's kind of like that guy that was on the rocket ship when they were going to blow the asteroid up. And he says, hey, you know what? 287 million moving parts made by the lowest bidder. Let's go, baby. Let's get on this and ride. Yeah. That's what's going on in the property preservation industry. Now, that's what they do. They bid the contract. Do they ever ask you, ladies and gentlemen? Has one of these companies that have contracts with the client, the real client, the lender, the mortgage company, the Fannie Mae, Wells Fargo's home mortgage, Bank of America's mortgage department, any of them. Do any of them ever call you? Do they ever call you and say, hey, Mark W. in Missouri, How much does it cost you to do this so we can bid this right? How much money do you need? Has anybody ever done that to any of you? I know Don McPherson is going to say, you don't bring your employees into, and I love this comment when he said this. He goes, you don't bring your employees in the room when you negotiate. Think about that statement, because that was how Don McPherson, a member of NAMFS, defended NAMFS membership actions when it came to negotiating and giving you a screwed up number. Look, ladies and gentlemen, there are certain costs in every area of this country. Every area of this country is different, and this is why I want to know why. This is why I want to know why, Mr. Craig Carnes, why are you awarding a company in Texas a contract for work to be done in Nevada and allowing them to hand it off to a company in Pennsylvania? Excuse me. You have an office in Reno, Nevada. You have an office in Las Vegas, Nevada. Why are our taxes paying for those offices and nobody is in those offices recruiting talent and local contractors in the Reno area, in the Las Vegas area, to handle the work in Nevada? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me, and that is the big problem in this industry. Work is being given to a company in Dallas, Texas. They cannot do the work in Nevada, period. Their arm is not that long. They cannot do the work in Nevada, and then they hand the contract off to somebody in Pennsylvania who claims to be a woman-owned business. That is the biggest abuse in this entire industry, because Lacey tried to become a woman-owned business to get those little special favors you can get for your business as a minority female business owner. Guess what? I was the only other person involved in management, and because Lacey did not do enough work. So you tell me how, when you list your C-level employees and there's only one woman and the rest are men, how does the woman do the amount of work? Who's lying, ladies and gentlemen? That's all I want to know. Question from Mark W. out of Kansas City, Missouri. I am not so interested in property preservation as I am in the rehab and repair, simply because it pays more and I am too small to handle enough volume to make a living doing property preservation work. I'll get to that point in a bit. Is it possible for a small REO contractor such as myself to obtain direct bank contacts that might secure a steady flow of work? Does Fannie, Freddie, or the VA contract with smaller vendors? Currently, I work with real estate, REO brokers, and a few smaller credit unions. I have stayed away from the national property preservation companies for various reasons. Also been cheated by regionals in the past. Any info or advice would be greatly appreciated. One of the things that we did when we separated and we said no to the nationals, as a matter of fact, AIM, I believe, was the last one. We were working with them, and then we just said, you know what? We've kind of made a position, and we got with AIM and said, I'm sorry, but we've kind of taken a position, and we're just, it's nothing you guys. AIM was actually a decent company. It wasn't a bad company. But it was the fact that we had made a position, and we took a position, and we let the contract, we called AIM up. I called them up and said, unfortunately, we're going to have to quit accepting work, and this is why. And they actually respected it, what I was saying, because and they knew I had spoken out, and I spoke out quite often. But to answer Mark's question, what we did was, number one, we started to help things. We started a rental property inspection service that we interjected into our business. And we used at the time, I don't know what happened to John Allen, but I have a copy of the book. I have been trying to see if we can't work something out because I want to try to do something with this book. And it is a copywritten piece of stuff, so we have to get permission from NARPE and John Allen. But we got a book called the Home Check Book. And we developed a rental property inspection and how it worked. I had a couple different people that were involved in this for us, and we'd pull a name out of the hat, and there was 2 inspections involved, $75 an inspection, an in and an out. And what we did was, whoever did the inspection, they would write their report up, and it would be emailed to the management, emailed to the rentee, you, if you're renting a property, whether it be an apartment, whether it be a house, whatever it was. We would do a complete property condition report. They take about an hour with the thing. We charged $75 going in, $75 on the out. So we got and there was always 2 inspections per property. Now, the key to this is finding like an apartment complex. We got lucky. We were doing some landscape maintenance for a 312 unit apartment complex. And this is why I say you want to find apartment complexes. They have a turnover rate. And we were averaging, I think it was 12. It was either 11 or 12 inspections a month is what we were averaging from the apartment complex. You get a couple realtors that have a dozen properties. You see what's going on. See if you get with a property management company. And another place to look if you're a small person, especially if you've got all your proper licensing in place and everything, I recommend them all the time. Vanderbilt Mortgage Finance, I believe it is. They are the mortgage outlet for Clayton Homes. Clayton Homes, of course, a manufactured home company, and they're very. I recommend them because they pay. I've never had a problem getting paid with them. I have never had any issues that you hear in the industry. There's never been a back charge with them. Everything has always been, of course, I inspect it. I don't care if I have to. I'll go do jobs for them. And my QC policy is still in place. When I get there, I go through the property, I do the inspection, I give them all the information they need, and the next day we discuss numbers, and it's cleaned up on the 3rd day. It's just that, and the last job we did for them, the trip fee was $740. Again, trip fees were a question that came up a while back. Trip fees, we charge by the mile, and we charged 45 cents a mile. It was about 1,400 mile round, maybe 1,500 when it was all said and done. It was a big trip. And the job itself, I believe the job itself came out to about $600. Company pays. And guess what? Because of the way we did everything, we get them all the pictures up front. We tell them how many yards of debris. We agree with that yard of debris. We agree with how dirty the house is. We agree with the handrail we're going to put up. We agree with the lawn we're going to cut and how big of the lawn we're going to cut. We agree if there's vehicles that have to be removed, etc., etc., etc. All those numbers are agreed upon. We send them an invoice when we're done. ACH goes into place about noon the next day. How do you beat that? You can't beat that with the stick. If it's on a weekend, I usually get paid on Monday. So a very good company. But again, they don't have a lot of work in my area. But I think at one time we might have had a half a dozen properties for them scattered all over the state. All over the state. So, and they do, they take care of us, so we take care of them. One of those kind of deals. But find smaller mortgages, like you were saying. Find your smaller mortgage companies. They will work directly with you. One of the things that is always good to have is what they call a capability statement. If you need help with that, it's kind of like a company resume thing. But if you need help putting one of those together, you can do that. Okay. All right. Let's see here. There was a QC question coming out. Yes, sir, I have my own, but it's always good to have multiple opinions. Give me a second. So I sent him over. I sent him over the QC podcast I did a while back, and this was his response. And again, I just want you to just listen and read between the lines. The problem with a uniform QC policy is the clients themselves. In the end, they answer to USG-sponsored enterprises. I don't know who USG is. He didn't explain that, and they will never get on the same page. The best thing to do is share best practices at the crew and regional level. Do you remember what I said about industry shill? He's already justified management doing banana stuff. Okay, I'm going to read you the exchange from this point on. No, this was approved by Fannie Mae when we were working direct. Everyone in between labor and the client, i.e. Fannie Mae, Wells Fargo et al., they don't matter. And that is the truth. Everybody from the client to you doing the work, in reality, they don't matter when it comes to, does this person over here like your work? Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that I do call 3 people out almost on a routine basis now: Eric Miller, Brian Mingham, and Tony Newman. I call them out for a reason, because labor needs to come to the table and the employee independent contractor issue needs to be addressed. And that's not happening. Anyways, his response to me is, Fannie Mae is only one entity. There is still FHA, which doesn't do anything like you got Freddie Mac, you got the VA, you got the USDA. I'm not sure when the USDA got involved in the mortgage field service industry, but I'm sure somehow after today we're going to find out. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Ladies and gentlemen, before I go any further, let's not forget Kim Savage, Women at Work in the Richmond, Virginia area. 804-539-4333. Women at Work. She can handle your property preservation and property maintenance needs. She got it going on. Plus, the banks really do not care about quality as long as the house conveys, which is a big issue. I highly disagree with that, because I've actually talked to some of these people. Now, this is a person that is going to make a presentation somewhere. This is a person that kind of helps divide labor, because they're supporting management while trying to pat you on the back and say labor is a good thing. This was my response to what they just said. Doesn't matter. Everybody wants the same end result. Also, everyone needs to stop defending management's industry abuse. I studied the Fannie Mae guidelines, did a podcast on it. Truth be told, Fannie Mae isn't the industry problem, and their guidelines are the same as others in the industry that provide the work. Everybody wants to ignore the employee independent contractor issue. Everybody can save face right now by establishing a uniform procedure that removes employee status from the equation. A procedure like this quality control program allows just for that. If I'm negotiating on day 2, I'm no longer an employee. Hello, Mr. Miller. Hello, Mr. Mingham. Hello, Tony Newman. Think about it. Mr. Miller, at the Fraud Fest, is anybody addressing this issue? It has to be addressed, because Bucksack, a member, a fraud, $1 million fraudster member, welcome to the club. FAS, AMS, Who's next? Who's next? Can you hear the footsteps coming there, Mr. Klein? The reason I have said this policy, and the reason I like this policy, the reason Fannie Mae accepted this policy from us, was the following reason. It puts everybody on the same page right from the beginning, because when we did this, we would also CC the realtor on that original report and make sure, hey, if you saw something we missed, the realtor we felt was important. That was how we got our report. Work with the realtors. They'll help you more than anybody will. They're the important ones because they're there looking at the work, and they're the ones also in touch with the bank and the client and the Fannie Mae people, okay? That is who you want to impress more than anybody, folks. The person right there looking at your work. So, I want you to think about this procedure right here. When this procedure was taken away from us, it created a problem. Also of note, the back end of the procedure, the internal QC, we've never had a chargeback. It only took losing 1 day because of the callback. That was how my policy got started. That was how the quality control procedure got instituted. This procedure was a product of a callback. It also won me my court case. Think about it. It was that procedure that was taken away from us that won me a court case. If I'm negotiating on day 2, I am not an employee. And ladies and gentlemen, perhaps it's time that a restructuring, and perhaps it's time we get somebody like maybe Mike Rowe involved, who's looking to put America to work. Because we don't need all these people in the middle of us that have pyramided the industry, that are taking numerous layers of revenue away from labor, that puts their money up front. They hire the employees, they pay the workman's comp, they pay the liability insurance, they pay the E&O insurance, they pay the auto insurance, they pay for materials, they pay for labor, to get cheated out of their money because 2 years down the road, there's a photograph missing. 2 years down the road, they find something unacceptable and give you a fraudulent, illegal chargeback. Speaking of fraud, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of fraud, foreclosurepedia.org, foreclosurepedia.org, up to the minute fraud reporting in the property preservation industry. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. He's got good stuff over there. Good stuff over there. Quality control procedure is not that difficult, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to say this again. I am going to address every small mom and pop shop like Mark. You're entitled, as a business owner, you have a business, develop policies and create a business for yourself. Create your own company policies. If you need help, I can do it. I know Foreclosurepedia helps people all the time. I've written manuals. I've written policies. I help them out. I help people all the time. You guys, oh, hell with it. You guys all know who this is. If you have anything like this, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking. We're looking to review contracts. Purdy Enterprises! How come no pricing? Why has nobody has given out pricing? Is it that big of a joke? Has everybody handed the contracts off so much there's no money for labor? Give me a break, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a break. Foreclosurepedia.org, up to the minute fraud reporting, ladies and gentlemen. Griffin Security Services. You need risk management. Get a hold of Ray Griffin. He can help out, man. Ray Griffin, Griffin Security Services. I don't have his number handy, but I'll get a link in the. I'll find his website and get you a link in the description this week, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, if you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, get a hold of Kim Savage, Women at Work Incorporated there, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, remember, we're looking for a new project sustainable agriculture? You got a goofy business? You want to get involved in agritourism? I can help. Give me a call. Give me a call. We'll see what we can do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a wrap for this week's Preservation Thursday. Think about it. Think about it. Labor has to come together somehow. What better way of labor making a statement in the property preservation industry than people developing a policy? People developing the same policy that makes good sense for their business. Protect your business, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's all about. Protect your business. Tune in over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Going to put some more videos out. I'll be down in the pit later this morning here. We're going to have some more pictures. Been popping pictures. That's coming along real nice. Remember, I'm doing this by myself, so it's not quite as fast as the 72-hour time frame. But you'll get an idea of what goes into things. You'll see a systematic way of doing things. I'll pop some more pictures and put them up on the G Plus today, probably a couple on Twitter. Like I said, the project is coming along real good. We got people coming out to look at stuff today to help me get some stuff out of here. Now, let's have a great day. Let's all be safe out there, huh?